Hi guys, Chris here and you're watching Here We Are Running, and welcome back to the channel for another episode in my ultra marathon training series. I'm training for my first 50 miler, the North Downs Way 50, happening on the 22nd of May. It's Saturday today. We are out for another long run and we're going to be going on the North Downs Way, but at the moment we're making our way via the pavements, via the roads down to Dorking, and then we'll come back on the North Downs Way. Box Hill steps, and we're going up. Whew. We're walking it. So during today's run, I thought it'd be good to reflect, because we've done 2 months worth of training now and people have been asking me certain questions. I'll try and answer them during this run. So just looking back at the last 2 months of training, 9 weeks in fact, what's gone well, what do I need to improve on, what have I learnt most from, all of that type of stuff. But first, we'll get to the top of Box Hill. Right, earlier we were down there looking up, now we're up here looking down. So if I was to summarise the first 9 weeks of training, I'd say it's all gone really well actually. I've been concentrating on firstly building a base, lots and lots of extra volume, not worried about the pace or anything like that. Been doing a bit of speed work just to keep things interesting, to keep things fun, mainly on Zwift, but it's all been really for me about building up volume. And now I feel that 50 and 60 mile weeks are the norm. As a result of that, my fitness in general has just improved. I don't really need to run a fast race or anything to prove that. I know that at the moment I'm probably the fittest I've ever been. So that's all really good. And a commonly asked question is, how's my body adapted during all this extra volume? It's done okay. You know, I wouldn't say it's perfect or anything. I've certainly felt some aches across the course of these 9 weeks that I've had to be very careful to listen to my body. I've had to adapt the training accordingly. You know, no point in going out there for a really difficult run, or putting a lot of effort in, if your legs are you know, just not feeling it. So, but on the whole, I think the body has adapted well, and as I say, this extra volume, it's become the norm for my body now. And that's all really just through building up slowly, progressively, and not trying to rush into this, because I know I've got bigger challenges coming up now in the remainder of the training, because the long runs are getting longer, and as they do, I need to be much more concerned about my nutrition, my hydration, making sure that I'm right before I go out for the run. And I think I've done all right with that this week. I think towards the end of the week, I was really concentrating on eating properly, eating the sort of foods that I need to get me through this long run today. Hydration, maybe I wasn't really properly hydrated before going into this run, but I think I'll be okay. It's not too warm. In fact, it's very cold out here today. So I'm giving a lot of thought to my nutrition plan, what I need to do during the week of training, at the weekends, during the long runs, and just generally to have enough energy that I will get through this, what for me is a substantial distance. Another commonly asked question, what shoes am I going to wear on race day? Still undecided on that one, but I have ordered a couple of pair of shoes during the week. They'll be arriving on Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you what they are, right? So have a guess. They're from the same brand. I'll give you a clue. Same brand. I'm not going to tell you which brand. Bear in mind that I overpronate. So have a guess at what new shoes I have bought. 2 pairs for different purposes. Have a guess, put a comment below, and I will reveal on Instagram when they arrive on Wednesday. Half marathon distance in, climbing Collie Hill again. You guys are getting used to Collie Hill. You're seeing it a lot lately, but every time it's a real slog up here. Another question that comes up quite regularly is how do I fit all this extra volume, this extra running in to my routine? And you know, to be honest, we started this training at the beginning of January at exactly the same time that we went into the 3rd lockdown here in England, and of course the schools were off, so that's given me a lot more flexibility in my day. I am a bit concerned now, as of next week. It's great that the schools are able to go back, and really important for the kids, I think. However, it does mean that my flexibility goes out the window a little bit. What with school runs, what with activities, kids activities restarting on Saturday and Sunday mornings. So, gotta play that one a little bit by ear, see how that goes. It is going to be more of a challenge going forward, guys, though. Right, if we carried along that way and then turn, we would be running the route that we ran last week along the North Downs Way over towards Caterham and beyond. We're not going to do that because we have reached sort of Merstham area now. We're going to head down this footpath, cut through Merstham, and then we'll be back home. I'll put a map up so that you can kind of see the stretch of the North Downs Way that I've managed to cover both this week and last week. Right, just giving my calves a little bit of a going over with the Hydra gun, new massage gun that I'm testing out at the moment. Premium type of massage gun this, so quite interesting to see what this can do compared to the other ones that I've tested previously. And I will do a review of this coming up shortly, but I'll tell you what, calves needed it today. It's Sunday, so I'm going to give you the roundup of the week. But before I do that, I want to just give you a little bit of news about next week. So next week for me, I had planned it out to be a down week, kind of cutback week, where I would be doing less intensity, less distance, just to let the legs get a little bit used to the past month's worth of training where we've been building. So that was the plan. But then, if you remember back to December, we had the Watopia Run Festival on Swift, and I did live streams most of the days during that week. It's happening next week. So it happens once a quarter, and next week is, or this week as you're watching it, is the week in the quarter that it's happening. I do want to do some of those races. Particularly, I would like to do the marathon again. Call me crazy, but I quite enjoyed, after the fact anyway, enjoyed that treadmill marathon that I did. So I'm not going to do every event in it. I will do the marathon, I think, next weekend. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for any other live streams that I might crop up on and film as I'm running them. But next weekend, hopefully, if all goes to plan, I will run the marathon on Zwift and I'll live stream it as well. And I think I have deserved a pint of this stuff. Not long now before St. Patrick's Day, so there'll probably be some more of this drunk, but I'm going to enjoy this evening after the week of training that we've had. It's all gone very well. I'll talk you through it now, and you can see what I've been up to. Up on the screen, you'll see that on Tuesday, Monday as always, rest day. Tuesday, we did quite a long breakfast run actually. Went out there early and did 16 kilometers or 10 miles out on the pavements. Enjoyed that before work. And in the evening, because I tend to do a double run day on a Tuesday, in the evening, I did an 8K 5-mile run on Zwift. Now on Wednesday, I normally do a run on Zwift, Wednesday morning before work, which is an elevation type of run, the pack. It's a Bologna, it's always at Bologna. So a bit of climbing involved normally in that event. But I couldn't get onto Zwift in time this Wednesday. I've been having all sorts of problems getting onto Zwift using the Runcline app on my phone, because I sometimes need to reinstall it on the phone. And this week, when I've tried to reinstall it, it's just sat there saying pending. And so if you know anything about Android phones and installing apps and why you might get into a situation where a particular app just says pending the whole time when you're trying to install it, let me know, because it's causing me all sorts of grief, and I'm having to use my people in my family, their phones, to just get it to work. Anyway, that didn't happen breakfast time on Wednesday, so instead I went out lunchtime, did a run of 11k, and then did a 5k in the evening. Now it was a fast 5k. It wasn't really intending to be, but ended up running that one fast. Did it in 19 minutes, 14 seconds, something like that anyway. So not the fastest I've run 5k on Zwift, but certainly one of my fastest. Then on Thursday did a breakfast time run. Now was going to do that run around Gatton Park again, where I do loops of Gatton Park, taking in quite a bit of elevation on each loop. Difficulty was, I got a phone call during the second loop with a delivery, which I had to be at home for the delivery. So I had to cut it short. Only got in 8.5k or 5.3 miles for that one. Did get in a bit of elevation still, but not as much as I would like, because I was cut short by one loop. Cut short again on my lunchtime run on Friday. Only 8k, 5 miles. Would have preferred that to be a bit longer as well, but my wife was helping out at the COVID testing centre on Friday, and that meant that I was at home with the kids in the morning, and then my lunchtime was sort of cut short by meetings and stuff I had. So we did get out there, we managed to get 8k done, and I just had to be happy enough with that. So going into the weekend, still had done quite a reasonable distance built up before we got to Saturday. Saturday was long run day again. Went out Saturday morning, as you saw. That run turned out to be 37 kilometers or 23 miles. So my longest run yet in this training block. Again, quite a bit of elevation involved in that run due to the various climbs and just the undulating nature of it. Did feel it afterwards, was feeling it towards the end, got to be honest. The legs were feeling it more than anything else. But, you know, we'll take that on board. As I say, probably due a bit of a rest week coming up. Then today, earlier today, we did a lunchtime run. I was short on my elevation leading up to today. So did, again, another pack event on Zwift. And this one was in the Surrey Hills on Zwift, and it didn't involve, in itself it didn't involve a lot of elevation. It was more of a gentle climb, this one. However, I tagged on some extra distance to it, a few kilometers extra, and I stuck the treadmill up to 12% for those 2 or 3 kilometers. And that certainly got the elevation up on that one. 404 meters or 1,328 feet just in that 9k run itself. So made sure I got my equivalent elevation into last week. Also distance wise, just a little bit, a couple of kilometers more than last week, but got to be really happy with the week as overall. Guys, I am going to leave you there. This video is probably getting quite long now, so I will leave you there. Thanks again everyone for watching these videos. Do give them a like if you've enjoyed them. If you're new around here, then please do consider subscribing. But for now, I will probably see you during the week for a live stream on Zwift, if not, next week's vlog. But for now, goodbye.